Hello YouTube, I'm Zach, you're watching ZakDTV, the place for interesting news from around the net. In today's episode, we are going to look at some excellent slow motion lightning footage. We also have the first commercial space flight to the moon, it's scheduled. And we're going to wrap up on VR headsets to help train Wal Mart personnel. That's the thing. And if you want more stories like this Monday through Friday, go ahead and click that subscribe button over here. That way you know when I upload something new. Alright, let's get right into this. For my first story, check this out. A team from Brazil's National Institute for Space Research, led by Marcelo Saba, captured this high-speed footage of lightning striking a building. This is the first time footage like this has ever been captured. Now, of course, there's been other slow-mo footage. It's the first time for lightning striking a lightning rod on top of a building. The scientists were hoping to get this because they really don't have an understanding of how exactly lightning rods interact with light. This is going to give them a lot more insight. I mean, right now they basically go with computer models and guesswork to see where the best location is for a lightning rod. Now, the frame rate of this shot is 7,000 frames per second. And with that, they were able to figure out how fast the lightning is moving, the striking distance between leader from the sky and the electricity from the ground had to be in order to complete the connection. And they did find out that the downward leader, the actual lightning coming from the sky, was moving at 60 miles per second. That's 100 kilometers per second for you guys on the other side of the pond. While the discharge from the rod was only moving at 3/100ths of a mile per second. That's 5/100ths of a kilometer per second. So it was much slower coming off the building than coming out of the sky. Just something interesting. But I ran into that footage today and I just thought it'd be something you guys want to see. Alright, let's get into the next one. Last week marked the first flight of Moon X's Electron rocket. They're calling it a success. It wasn't truly a complete success. It made it 90% of the way into space. It was supposed to go into orbit. Didn't quite make it. There's a failure in the second stage of it. But hey, for a private company to make it that far on their first ever launch, they're doing pretty good. Well, because of that success, they're shooting for the moon by the end of this year. Now, Moon X was started back when Google announced its Lunar X Prize. So they want to get up there by the end of 2017 because that's part of the rules for winning the $20 million. And in order to win that money, they not only have to make it to the moon, but land a lander on it and travel 500 meters across the surface and send back high-def footage. According to Moon X's founder and CEO, Bob Richards, it will be the space equivalent of the 4-minute mile. I think we're going to redefine the possible, which, when you look at it, taking your first flight a week ago to landing on the moon in a couple months is pretty close to impossible. But hey, we're humans. Nothing's impossible to us. Well, so far they have a couple more test flights scheduled for this year. They also want to do 2 commercial flights where they're taking up satellites for paying customers. And then in December, they're ready to go with their moonshot. And for their lander, this is a pretty original idea. They plan on sending their MX-1E into orbit on the Electron rocket. From there, it is going to fly itself from low Earth orbit to the moon and pull off its own landing maneuvers, all autonomously. It's going to make it soft landing, take some measurements, see what it can see, and then fire up its rockets again and hop the 500 meters in order to qualify for that $20 million prize. I don't know, for some reason I just assumed they'd be driving the 500 meters, but hey, it wasn't specified, so why not fly? They do say because they are a commercial industry, they're looking to mine minerals off the moon and other extraterrestrial planets. It makes a lot more sense to be able to move your lander from place to place to take samples to see if the spot where you landed is worth mining in the first place. But like I said, they've got a couple months here to be completely ready to put a lander on the moon. They're shooting for it, so let's see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. And finally, Wal Mart has teamed up with Striver. They're a team who does virtual reality training to train their associates on how to handle Black Friday. I kid you not, Walmart has 200 training centers, and they plan on incorporating VR into all of them by the end of 2017. Basically what's going to happen is if you're a Walmart new hire, you go in, you strap on an Oculus Rift headset. They're going all out with this. They're buying the Oculus and the equipment needed to run this thing. And it will put you in a virtual reality simulation of the store. From there, it's going to present you with different obstacles like spills or anything like that. customer complaints, Black Friday rush, and it will monitor how you react to these things. You'll be given certain tasks. You'll have to answer certain questions about your experience, about what you would do to change things to make the shopping experience better for Walmart customers. So basically, they're building a Walmart game for new employees to play. The biggest problem that they have right now with this is affording all the high-end units. As it is, they think they're going to buy one per training location, and then the people being trained will have to take their turns on it in 5 to 10 minute increments while the rest of the class watches on a flat screen TV. All of them will have to answer questions about the simulation when it's done, and they'll all get their own little chance at being in the VR world. Eventually, they plan on upscaling this to where every Walmart location will have a little room in the back with VR goggles to train all their new hires and possibly even run them through like a monthly refresher course on how to handle their customers. So if you can't get your hands on VR and you want to go play with it, just go get a job at Walmart. They'll train you on it. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for stopping in. Now, I do this 5 days a week. That's Monday through Friday. It's Friday now, so I'm going to call it a weekend. But I'll be back on Monday. I hope you will too. So everybody, have a great weekend and be safe.